Guys, what's going on? This is RJ Game News USA here, back today with another video, and today we're going to go over the review scores for Arc Raiders. This is a really popular extraction shooter, and we're going to look at it. It's got an 86 overall on Metacritic, with 44 positive, 2 mixed, and 1 negative. I imagine those 2 mixed and that 1 negative led to it not being a 90 overall on Metacritic, so we'll definitely take a look at those. But we're going to start from the top down. We're not going to read them all. We're just going to read a few of these reviews and move on. So if you like this kind of content, support by hitting the like button and subscribing and sharing the video. And let's jump right into it. So we have a perfect 100 from Pocket Tactics, saying Arc Raiders doubles down for that Embark Studios is force of nature in the shooter space. It runs great on handheld PCs and is ideal for newcomers and veterans alike, with best-in-class sound design, gripping firefights, and brilliant social systems to explore. That's high praise there. We also have Perfect 100 from Eurogamer Germany, Game Rant, IGN France, and Tech Radar Gaming. Alright, Dual Shockers with a 95 says Arc Raiders is an incredibly challenging extraction shooter that will push you to your limits and frustrate you, but you'll keep coming back for more with breathtaking visuals, thoughtfully designed maps, and intense PvP and intelligent, unpredictable AI. CG Magazine also gave it a 95. Moving on, Power Unlimited gave it a 93, saying Arc Raiders is an exceptionally tight extraction shooter, offering plenty of atmosphere alongside the necessary tension. Even though you're constantly being hunted by robots or suspicious fellow raiders, life as a post-apocalyptic looter is a beautiful experience. And we do have several 90s, starting with IGN, the industry leader, saying Arc Raiders raises the bar for extraction shooters pretty much across the board, with an incredibly gripping progression grind, tense fights against NPCs and other players that make for memorable matches, and loot that feels completely worth all the work and stress it takes. Game Informer and Destructoid also gave it a 90. Gaming Bolt, GameSpot, Innovin, Eurogamer Portugal also gave it a 90. EveryEye.it and Jux Video gave it a 90. Games Radar Plus, IGN Spain, Loot Level Chile, COG Connected all gave it a 90. Windows Central chimed in with a 90, so did IGN Portugal, and Voxel and Games.cz gave it a 90 as well. Noisy Pixel gave it a 90. Gaming Age gave it a 90. The Outer Haven also gave it a 90. Moving on to 88 from the Games Machine, saying Arc Raiders perfectly combines the punishing gameplay of extraction looter shooters with the setting, graphics, and storyline of the best single-player shooters. Battling against machines is engaging, and the game encourages cooperation even without friends to form. Vandal with an 87 says Arc Raiders successfully blends intense extraction shooter mechanics with more accessible and colorful approach, delivering thrilling tension around extraction points while offering smooth shooting and RPG-like progression, although some weapon balancing issues persist. And that's the first negative I've heard. We also have an 87 from This Is a Game. PC Gamer with an 86 to match the overall Metacritic score says Arc Raiders is a genuinely enjoyable extraction shooter thanks to interesting weapons, beautiful maps, and unpredictable action-packed PvP VE encounters. GameStar also gave it an 86. And moving on, we have an 85 from PC Games saying Arc Raiders achieves what many developers have failed to do, creating a mainstream extraction shooter that does justice to the quality you expect from a AAA shooter. Exactly. I think that's what Marathon tries to go for, and they're, having issues, obviously. Sector.sk with an 85 as well. V Games with an 85. IGN Italia and Multiplayer.it with an 85. And Ario Jungus with an 85 as well. Then we drop to the 80s, where we start with Gamers RD saying Arc Raiders stands out for its remarkable optimization and stunning visuals, delivering a high-quality, highly entertaining, and visually striking co-op experience. While some mechanics still need the turning, the game does show great potential and could become one of the best extraction shooters of all time. Sorry, my freaking cat jumped on the keyboard in the middle of this freaking review. I don't know if you'll see that in video or not. But anyway, moving on to Gamer Sky with a 79, saying Arc Raiders currently feels like chaos held together by a thin layer of order. Once new players get discouraged and leave, and veterans exhaust the existing content, the overall environment will likely shift, and I don't have high hopes for that change. Interesting point you bring up. When your game first comes out, you're going to get the most amount of players possible playing it. If you look at almost any game with 24-hour peaks on Steam charts, these games typically within the first few days will hit its peak, and then they will taper off. This is true for almost any game. And when they start tapering off, it's because people fall off of it, and then people get discouraged because people are way better than them. And then as time goes on, that just cycle continues. So then any newer players that pick this up down the road, whether it's on a sale or whatever their case may be, they'll get more discouraged more quickly because the players that are already there and dominating all the time will dominate you. This does happen a lot, especially in multiplayer games. So Gamer Sky brings up an interesting point. Now that, interestingly enough, that is the final positive review of Arc Raiders. And it drops all the way from 79 to the next review is a 60. So mixed reviews. We had 2 mixed and 1 negative. This first mixed review for 60 says Arc Raiders seems to be a good contender for extraction shooter genre, offering solid and familiar genre gameplay and unique aesthetic. However, overpriced monetization plagues this already paid-to-play title and has something of a tourist to the extraction shooter genre. I detest this. So there's a little allegation here of pay-to-play, pay-to-win, and they're probably not wrong. How about Totisto with a 60, saying it's hard to recommend Arc Raiders to anyone but the fiercely devoted. It is burning bright now, but there's little to no deliberate form of competition that anything can most likely will topple it from the throne. Okay, this review's stupid, makes no sense. We're just sort of going to skip over it. They're sort of just maligning the fact that no matter what this game's done, it basically can't overtake Fortnite, basically, is what they're alluding to. Finally, the lone negative review, and this is from Eurogamer, of course. Eurogamer's always giving out these super negative reviews. They say, with a 40, rich PvE combat and an unusually friendly community make Arc Raiders a more approachable extraction shooter than most, but Embark Studios' continued use of AI voice generation is a black mark against its reputation. So here we go. We have a politically motivated here, a negative review against Arc Raiders because they used AI in the voice. Now look, guys, I have railed against AI in the past. However, I will never let that define how well I think a game is done. I may mention it in passing, But if the game is good, the game is good, whether it was with AI or not with AI. I can have a video where I could critique the industry as a whole, but if the next Square Enix game that's made mostly by AI is good, I'll tell you it's fucking good or not. I'm not just going to rate it low because of the use of AI. So yeah, I don't really respect Eurogamer all that much, as you guys can tell. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video. This is RJ signing out. Have a good one.